The end of January is approaching and you've set the goals, you have the intention, you're trying to follow through, you're detoxing the dopamine, and yet the goals are quietly slipping away. Maybe you haven't told anybody, but in fact, they are starting to happen less and less often because you cannot follow through. There is, in fact, a missing piece that you may not be aware of, and it's purely neurological. It's happening in your brain underneath the surface. Your effort gate is stuck. This video is brought to you by my HarperCollins published book, Mind Over Explicit Matter. If you're ready to quit porn and reclaim your life mentally and physically, go over to drtrishleigh.com/book. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh, cognitive neuroscientist. In this slideshow briefing, I would like to show you that your goals are not slipping away. Your nervous system is. And then, of course, exactly what to do to get it back. Now, if you're a fan of The Matrix, pop culture sensation movie, like I am, I want you to know this is a red pill moment, and we're going to dive into that. Let's start with the hijack. Okay, so your brain is being miswired by the algorithm. We know this, it's scientifically proven, but this is what I want you to know. If you ever thought that the algorithm is serving you things that maybe you haven't even looked for, it knows. It is being conditioned by you in very low key ways to serve you more or content at higher levels of intensity and dopamine to keep you hooked. This is a system that's engineered to miswire your brain, and it starts with the hijack. This is what it looks like today. Today, we're talking about the effort gate in your brain. It's actually called the anterior cingulate cortex. It's the area that allows effort to begin without high levels of dopamine or reward. So if you're pushing through, even though your brain has been miswired for high levels of dopamine, this is what it might look like, is that you set the goal and then you crank it up, you put all that effort out, even though you're swimming upstream against a brain that has an effort gate that's not wide open. So of course, 9th of January, which is the day that most goals fall off, and here you are, below baseline. So it's not the goals that are the problem, it's the system overload in your brain and your nervous system. Today, this red line is what we're going to talk about. How we can help you go up, 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 baby, so you can reach your goals this year. But I want you to know, if you're still going back to the screen, especially explicit matter, you are in fact miswired by the algorithm. It will be challenging. So, what are we going to talk about doing here? We're going to talk about how to get you to the next level. So, having an effort gate that's stuck closed feels like this. You know what you want to do. You know how to do it. You really, really care about it. You just can't engage. Now, if you've thought that, or maybe you've even said it to someone lately, a whole bunch of new clients have said that to me in the last week. And I said, I've got a video coming out on it. You've got to watch it with the new slideshow, which hopefully you are enjoying, is that this is an effort gate being stuck. If you've said it to yourself, I know what I have to do, I know what I want to do, but I just can't do it, your effort gate is stuck. Now here's Neo. And honestly, I almost named my eldest daughter, whose birthday is January 22nd, Trinity. That's how diehard I was back in the day. And it's no wonder I took motorcycle lessons, right? I would be absolutely on fire like Trinity if I was trained properly. Anyway, back to Neo. So Neo has the cognitive desire. So he's brought up, he's lived his life in the Matrix, right? From my standpoint, the Matrix is the world we know it, especially the online world as we know it now. So the blue pill is staying in the comfortable illusion that that's good for you, that it's serving you, that it's helping you live the life that you want and to achieve the goals that you want. The red pill moment is waking up to reality, even though it's painful. Now, your reality might involve screen addiction or compulsion. Screens, especially explicit matter, are supernormal stimuli. They hook your brain. The algorithm, it knows that, which is why it's trying to miswire your brain to go back for more and more at higher levels of intensity. If you felt that, that is comfort. You're seeking out comfort through high levels of dopamine, through passive content that is not serving you. So I always tell my clients, everything you do is leading you towards your goals or away. This is your moment. Red pill, blue pill. Do you want the comfortable illusion, or do you want to crash through it and make this year the year you accomplish your goals? Come with me, my friend. And I want to remind you one thing. Only one of them is reality. Only one of them is truth. The other one is an illusion. It's fantasy. It's not real. So, choosing truth over fantasy, that's how you create the life you want and that you deserve. Okay, so we're going to come back to Neo and we're going to see what happened to him. But your brain is being hijacked by the algorithm. You're pushing through using effort, swimming upstream, because your brain has become miswired. Now, this is a play off of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You can read about it in my book, Mind Over Explicit Matter, which helps people to step away from pornography and to create intimacy and the life that they want, especially in terms of sexuality with a partner. So if you're in that place, go check out Mind Over Explicit Matter. But in that book, I show Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Here, I want you to see in the middle, this effort gate, right? This effort gate right here, we've got the warning sign. It is slam closed. It's stuck. I'm going to show you what it looks like in a second. So you're artificially stuck at these lower levels of perceived physiological safety. Now, especially when it comes to explicit matter, the perceived physiological safety is sexuality that's been distorted by pornography, leading you back to more of it, because healthy sexuality was about continuing the tribe so that your genes would, proliferate over the ages. But clearly you're not procreating at all when it comes to porn, fantasy, and masturbation. That's an illusion that you have to break free from. So if you're caught up in it, or even in social media, drama, violence, all the shenanigans of the screen that are not serving you, you are caught in distorted, perceived physiological safety. You can't crash through to higher self-esteem, self-actualization, which is becoming the best version of yourself through purpose and meaning. You're stuck because your effort gate is stuck. You might want to get up here, but you can't. You might know how to, but you can't. Prefrontal cortex is all the thinking. Effort gate, now that's the doing. You cannot perceive higher goals from a dysregulated nervous system. The effort gate in the brain is this. It's the anterior cingulate cortex. It's involved with the limbic brain. The prefrontal cortex, focus and planning. The dopamine center, reward and drive. We need to have sustained levels of dopamine, not spikes high, crashing below threshold like we saw on the hijack slide a few slides ago. That sends you into protection survival mode. You're looking for relief. You're in avoidant mode. You're looking for isolation, not because you want it, but because the effort gate is closed. When you regulate, you can move towards thrival, towards growth, towards action in the road, the pathway that leads you towards your goals. Pathways are real in your life and in your brain. We're talking about a reset of your pleasure pathways in your brain, taking them from sending you into the screen and instead teaching them to get you back into your life. But if your effort gate is closed, you're not going to be able to do that. There's a study that is referenced here, and here is where we can see the actual areas in the brain that are involved. Self. This is a self-reflection. This is the neuroscience of self and self-regulation. And it says the fourth component necessary for successful functioning in the social world is self-regulation. Self-regulation comes from neurological regulation. It's threat detection. Now, the effort gate is also slammed shut because it's perceiving effort as a threat, not effort as safety, because you've trained your brain through the algorithm that comfort is safety through high levels of dopamine. The way that the brain is supposed to develop in a healthy way is that effort equals reward. While in our easy button modern world culture, hit the button equals reward, zero effort. Your brain's been conditioned to get all the reward with no or minimal effort. So that's what we're talking about here. Now, I see this in people's brain patterns as strained brain and drained brain. This is an example of one aspect of strained brain. It's called high beta, 21 to 30 hertz, very fast high energy that is associated with stress, with anxiety, with panic attacks, with OCD, with erectile dysfunction. Your brain has to feel safe, and it has to feel like the effort towards being with a partner is worth the reward. But if you've gone back to explicit matter, guess what you've taught it? All that work with a partner is a ton of effort, and that the reward's less than hitting the easy button and getting the larger deluge of dopamine. It's reversed because of the algorithm. That stresses the brain out. That's what high beta is. It's a brain on overload. Now, if you want to achieve your goals that you've set, fitness goals, work goals, friendship goals, partner goals, sexuality goals, they are achieved through a green zone brain map. These are actual brain maps of clients that I serve. I first identify the brain dysfunction and then I help regulate it. Here's a quote for you, and I want you to remember this. Effort follows regulation. Effort does not follow your intention. Now, of course, it is imperative to set the intention, but you've got to follow through. The follow through only happens with a regulated brain. Okay, so back to the rewiring. How are you going to rewire this? Well, first, nervous system regulation. The algorithm hijacks it. You are going to gain that control back through regulation. Then you can move on with real physiological safety. Your brain feels safe. You feel strong. You feel healthy. You can look inside and decide what is your innate inspiration. Not your brother, not your sister, not your parents. What do you want to contribute to the world? What do you want to get from the world in terms of joy, not just pleasure that always equals pain? What is it? That's self-actualization. It leads you to purpose and to meaning, and that leads to happiness. Now, I want you to think about your screen habits. Are they leading you towards the identity that you want to create for yourself? What the algorithm does, it fragments identity. First of all, young people don't even know what they want to do. They don't know how they want to contribute, nor do they know what real world joy looks like, unless somebody's teaching them. That's why I'm here in these slides. I want to teach you. You have to create a real world identity that fills your heart, that lights up your mind. That's how you regulate your brain. Now, how this girl helps is many people's nervous systems are stuck. What dysregulation is neurorigidity. If you ever heard of the book by Bessel van der Kolk, The Body Keeps the Score, he talks about the brain getting locked up, creating more neurorigidity. My job is to help create more neuroplasticity, and I use high-level technology with my own white label app. And what we do is we can identify the dysfunction in a brain map. We can regulate the nervous system. We can bring down the high-level need for dopamine, the dopamine dependency, the compulsion back into the screen. You're being pulled in, urges and cravings for dopamine. Break the reinforcement habit loops that keep you going back, right? It's Thursday night and you want to chill out, so you go on your screen for 3 to 5 hours. That's not helping you achieve your real world goals, even though watching a show for 30 minutes can be enjoyable. It's the compulsion piece. I've been watching Shrinking. It's been great. So we use high-level technology that can read this for you. Then what I can help people do is bring that high beta down. I showed you how high beta leads to stress and anxiety, OCD, urges, cravings. On this graph, which is of a real client, high beta started out up over 1. It's up at 1.6 here. You can see how it's very high. Through training, and these are training sessions and not very many of them, down, 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 and down. This is the trending down of high beta, feeling calmer, less stress feelings, which is higher stress tolerance, less anxiety, less need for the screen to self-soothe. This is how the brain changes in just a few months. It's very powerful. My neuromodulation program. So I always want to give you a brain hack also, but remember, if this brain hack doesn't work, it's not because it doesn't work. It's because you may need higher level assistance using technology. So here's the first thing. This can be done in under 3 minutes in the middle, which neuroscience shows 3 minutes is really powerful. Altogether, it's 5 to 7 minutes with the setup. Number 1, remove all stimulation. Do it for at least 90 seconds. Obviously, the longer, the better. So put your phone away, no music, no scrolling, sit or stand still. Now, this isn't you doing nothing. This is you giving your brain the opportunity to regulate. You cannot regulate while you're consuming passive content. You need time for the default mode network to engage. That's what's going to help open up the effort gate, get that anterior cingulate cortex cranking again, and let effort flow seamlessly and effortlessly where it feels fun, flow state. Then introduce gentle effort, 3 minutes at a time, building off of it. Fold laundry, walk slowly, write a few sentences in your journal, wash the dishes. You can watch another deep dive video that's coming out on Wednesday where I explain this a lot more. This is the tutorial using the visuals to help you understand the hijack, miswire, rewire, but I dive a lot more into the rewire in that video. Then have an embodied stop. Stop before it feels too difficult. What we're trying to do here is have you apply effort without being worried about getting the reward in the moment. We're training your brain to appreciate the effort for effort itself, not worried about getting the reward as fast as possible. Instant gratification. We're going for delayed gratification. We're going for not only executive function, for effort to start flowing again. In the embodied stop, take 3 slow breaths with the exhale being longer. Then check into the body. Notice what's going on. Muscle tension, your breath rate, your heart rate, body temperature. Notice all of this. Check in and get back into reality. That embodied stop before it gets too difficult can be really powerful. And doing that for the rest of your life, when you apply effort, can really help keep your effort gate open. This is what Neo did. So remember when Morpheus told Neo, let it all go? That wasn't just a mindset shift. That was a regulation act of opening the effort gate. He already cognitively knew what he had to do or he wanted to do. He just couldn't do it because he was paralyzed because he didn't have that effort gate open. He wasn't regulated. Effort's blocked. When he regulated himself, and you see people do it in tons of movies where they take the breath, they downshift, then they act. They're opening that effort gate. That's what I want you to do in the brain hack today. And when the effort gate becomes open, effort follows. So I want you to remember this. Regulate first and effort will follow. If you need help, please go over to drtrishleigh.com. You can check out a blog post that I created where you can take a quiz if your effort gate is slam shut and locked. So go over, check the link out in the description. Also go back to the other videos with the slideshows that I've just done. I'm trying to present better content to you that you can understand it, wrap your mind around it visually. Go to the video that's coming out on Wednesday for the deeper dive in the motivation. Schedule an appointment with me because I can help. It's a consultation. It's risk-free. We can talk. I can help you move forward. Okay. Now, as always, remember, control your brain or it will control you. I'll see you next time.